Hey, everybody, thanks for watching. Hit the bell, subscribe. We have new content coming out daily. Make sure you subscribe. God bless you guys.
Julie, about a month and a half, 2 months ago, you came on this program so clearly said that Donald Trump will be indicted on federal charges. You were one of the people that just said it so bluntly, and you're being proven right, not just on the document thing. But what do you think we can expect on this Jack Smith looming indictment? And do you think that the Michigan elector dynamic is part of an interlocked strategy here by the feds?
Yes, I do. So what you're referring to is State Attorney General Dana Nessel, who charged, I believe, 14 individuals, most of them senior citizens, by the way, for this fake electoral scheme. Now, Charlie, let's talk about this really quick. It's very confusing, but it was basically a PR political stunt. It was basically people who got together who were electors, and they put together these false or fake certifications that if something happened with the Electoral College vote, as that kind of intensity was gathering, that something might actually happen, which of course led to the events of January 6th, that there would be these alternative slate of electors. It was nothing legitimate, and it certainly was nothing criminal. What could be criminal about it? Well, what Dana Nessel, and it looks like Jack Smith could do this too, is charge them with some sort of fraud or conspiring to commit fraud. Could be mail fraud or wire fraud. Some of these were sent to the National Archivist. It's a joke. And this has been done before. Charlie, you might recall in 2016, there was a very public and powerful effort to get Trump electors to flip and instead vote for Hillary Clinton. This came from the very top echelons of Hillary Clinton's own campaign, including John Podesta. There was a whole organization put together, media campaign, to put pressure on some of these electors who were getting death threats because of this. So now you've got a bunch of baby boomers in some, room in Michigan putting together pretend electoral certification letters, and Dana Nessel, the Attorney General for the state of Michigan, is now going to prosecute them. So yes, you're exactly right. This is all tied together. It's lawfare and it's also optics. But back to what you were saying, yes, I predicted for over a year that the DOJ and then Special Counsel Jack Smith, who was appointed in November, would bring a multi-felony count criminal indictment against Donald Trump and others for their alleged role in the events of January 6th. Donald Trump confirmed on Truth Social this week that he had received a target letter from Jack Smith. And you and I have discussed some of the possible charges, but this poses perhaps the greatest legal risk and jeopardy for the former president. Classified documents case, and I'm following that as well in Southern Florida, is far flimsier and far less convincing and will take place in a far less friendly jurisdiction venue than Washington, D.C. But this is going to be a real problem for Donald Trump and whoever else is indicted as co-conspirators.
So Julie, if you were to speculate, who else do you think would be charged, and for what? If you were just to kind of guess who's on the potential drawing board here.
So first, let me say any conspiracy charges, and DOJ is very conspiracy charge happy. So any conspiracy charge would require the defendant to have a co-conspirator, at least one, perhaps many. So we already know that they've been looking at Rudy Giuliani, that they've been investigating people like John Eastman, people like Jeffrey Clark, who was the acting deputy attorney general on January 6th. It could be Trump White House officials. It could be members of Congress. This DOJ is so out of control, so vengeful, and so unaccountable by judges and anyone else that they know they can get away with bringing charges with little to no evidence against anyone that they choose, especially, Charlie, when it happens in the District of Columbia, which is where all of these January 6 more than 1,000 criminal cases have been prosecuted. And this is where the charges, the grand jury indictment, all the court proceedings and the trial will take place, a city that voted 93% for Joe Biden.
It's unbelievable. They should request a venue change. They're going to get denied by these judges. You cannot have fair justice as an outspoken conservative. You cannot. The entire jury pool is infected. And by the way, this is how ridiculous it is. It's just, if there was a Democrat that was on trial in Midland, Texas, they'd be like, oh, it's not fair, and they would get the trial moved. It's zip code justice. It's a bad development. Julie, you've been on top of the game. I think we're going to see an indictment very soon. I'll be curious to see who the alleged co-conspirators are, but this alternate elector thing is a big deal as far as what they're trying to do here.